The announcement made the price of XRP go up twice today. You don't normally get to say that, but it's true. It did, in fact, rally twice today. The first was because of news that had an effect on all types of cryptocurrency. And the second was because of news that hit XRP in particular, which you have probably heard by now. After that, it really took off. That was the most important one today. This is all I'll say. You won't be let down when I tell you what some XRP chart analysts think about the future. Finally, the part of an ecstatic bull run for XRP that melts faces is here. This is something that we XRP holders have been looking forward to for years. It's still coming, people. We're not done yet. As I write this, XRP is worth $3.30. Bitcoin is worth a little more than $117,000. So what got this market going today? The headline read, Bitcoin crypto stocks rise as Trump signs executive order opening 401k plans to alternative assets. You must really like this. On Thursday, President Trump issued an executive order that will allow millions of Americans to include non-traditional assets like private equity and cryptocurrency in their retirement plans. Before the news came out on Thursday, the prices of major cryptocurrencies and equities connected to cryptocurrencies went up. I'll just say that it was about right now for those of you who are looking at your displays. So around 4:50 a.m., the rumor started to spread. Central Time is my time zone. That's why I'm using that time zone. XRP was trading at $3, as you can see. After that, it went back up to about $3.07. Knew that it was mostly going sideways, but more on that in a minute. Next followed the other big news story. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But things did start to get better. People are saying that this will happen. Based on what I've read, there were certain people in the administration who knew the truth. We found out that morning that it was official, but the market was already roaring. This is where it ended up. Tom Dunleavy also posted this. He is in charge of venture capital at Verus Capital. He was also Mossari's top analyst at one point. In addition, Mossari is very well known in the cryptocurrency world for his work in on-chain analytics. And this is what he said. The news regarding 401ks and cryptocurrencies is much more important than that of ETFs. About 100 million Americans have 401ks, which are retirement savings accounts. Every 2 weeks, they get a percentage of their pay, which they use to buy stocks and bonds. And it operates on its own, with no choice or direct purchases made with the money they have set up. Most Americans change these amounts just once a year, if at all. This has been a big reason why the stock market has been strong and steady for the past 20 years. A bid for an ongoing asset backdrop. And it is totally true about Paul's note. Market up or down, no matter what. This is what the allotment is. It just continues going forward no matter what. He then says that these assets are worth $12 trillion in total, and that $50 billion in new cash comes in every 2 weeks. A 1% portfolio allocation to cryptocurrencies makes $120 billion. A 3% allocation would bring in $360 billion. A portfolio with 5% cryptocurrency also brings in $600 billion in additional flows. So that would happen once a year. But do you know what happens? Some people say that the multiplier effect on this might be anywhere from 5 to 10 times what it is. This asset class shows how the value of an asset class may go from a few $1 trillion to tens of trillions of dollars. Then, in the end, more than $100 trillion. That will happen. I keep saying that we are early, because this type of asset will be worth more than $100 trillion one day. There is a very real chance that you may get rich and alter your life with cryptocurrencies, even if you are new to it. If you invest $3 trillion now and wait long enough, it will grow to about $100 trillion. This is a very real chance. I suppose that will happen, though. He then says that these are not flows that happen only once. They keep buying once they get their allocations. There is presently a lot of discussion about how quickly this will happen because of this presidential order. There are certain problems that this movie doesn't cover, and it doesn't mean that this will happen right away, but I do think it will happen someday. The only thing left to do is figure out the percentage. People who say, oh, it's not going to happen right away, might be right. I'm not sure, but it will probably happen sooner rather than later. I think that would be my guess. Of course, I think you all know about the second pump by now. I made a movie about it tonight. Ripple and the SEC made it official that they were no longer working together. It's over for sure this time. It's over. XRP is not safe. Judge Torres's decision is still in effect. Ripple and the SEC have both dropped their appeals. It's done. The joint filing has been properly taken care of. Then, Credible Crypto, a chart analyst, put out one of his old posts. This is dated December 24th, 2020, which is just a few days after the SEC first sued Ripple. He wrote this. You know, it's been more than 4.5 years. Ripple's customers are mostly from the United States, which makes about 90% of its business. More than 90% of all XRP trades happen on exchanges that are not in the US. XRP is not a security in Singapore, the UK, Switzerland, or Japan. If you think that the SEC case is going to make XRP go to zero, you might not be thinking clearly. XRP is a currency that may be used all over the world. I say that all the time, people. That's what I always say. I was just worried about those in the US. I am there because we might not have been able to get this thing. If things didn't go as planned, there was a real chance that things could go very wrong. Thank goodness justice was served. The fight against cryptocurrency is over. Everything is fantastic in the crypto world now that the November election is over. But that was a big fear. Who knows what would have happened if XRP had been available to the rest of the globe in the US? We would have been alone. It would have been hard. And so at 5:37 p.m. this evening, Reputable Crypto broke the news. He reposted this little than an hour and a half after the announcement, when it was finally all over. He told me what I'm going to read to you now. He's also one of the males who has been here the whole time. And I'm sure a lot of you who are listening have too. So I want to sincerely congratulate you on your cojones. Wow. I'm shocked. We have been through a lot together, haven't we? However, 2 days after the SEC officially filed its complaint against Ripple on December 24th, 2020, Credible Crypto claimed that many people wanted XRP to die, even though it was only worth 24 cents. 5 years later, the case was dropped, 13 times more. We are still here, and XRP and Ripple have been cleared. XRP is a currency that may be used around the world. I hope you get to see it. And here's another post from him. It hasn't been more than an hour since the news came out this evening. The time in the center right now is 5:09 p.m. He gave this XRP price chart and said that it looks like it is structurally sound. In my perspective, any dip into the green zone is a great chance to go for the range highs. He was just talking about the chance of going below $3.10. It might be as low as $2.90. He even uploaded a post later that showed he still believes it is possible. He agrees that it is possible, but it doesn't matter that I haven't pulled it up for this video. He still insists that we are moving toward the face melt zone over a longer period of time. That is what will happen. Please be patient. We have that arranged for us here. In particular, the bases are stronger than they were before. If we believe what history says, we are just starting the craziest part of a bull run. How could you not be happy here? So folks, it's coming. This is a post by Bark who looks at charts. This made him respond. He says the manipulation is over. It takes time to send XRP to $10. This weekend will be one for the books. That's strange given the news came out barely over an hour ago. But he was right. There was no more manipulation, and he is still sure of himself. He probably feels much more convinced of himself now than he did then. It's not crazy to pay $10 for XRP. It's not unusual for XRP to have double-digit price changes throughout this market cycle. Let's see if it happens. I don't make predictions about prices, but let's be honest. Of all the conservative pundits I follow, the ones I trust the most all agree that $10 is probably coming.